So I started from here, and then I go over here, but this is not
What it normally is.
the one. Yeah, like I was thinking I would come over here to select that one, but it's not. So what I need to now do is
Huh.
so it's streaming now, but it is not here. So I come over here and go throw with the I'm not even subscribed to my own channel. That's funny. All right, see, it says I'm live. And I click.
Oh.
And here I am. All right, so if I come over here though, maybe if I go to my channel and then click on it. No.
Said you started streaming 77 seconds ago.
Yeah, see, it's right here. Okay, maybe if I go to manage, this might be it. Maybe I'll start it in OBS and then come over here. Because it wasn't popping up.
So this is actually the screen you need.
I don't know. Custom live. Here it is. All right. Okay.
Oops.
Now we're in.
Beautiful.
1080p. Excellent health. And I'm going to assume that the audio is working.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna just start working through some of these ideas, cleaning up around here, and then I don't know, something. How are you doing?
Good.
How do you feel? Your shoes untied.
Ah.
Bring it to me. Hiking shoes.
Yep. Ready to hike.
All right.
One question I had was, where are the incense holders that I should choose from, or that we can look at for Sarah, because the we already picked out the ones that were already on the website. So, probably any of these then, because you have a bucket of candle holders. Is there another tub of incense holders, or these are the main ones?
Those are all of the incense holders.
Okay.
These are all of the
Okay, so then that'll be fine. I was thinking we could use the same gift bag that we did for our wedding. And yeah. Okay. That'll work. I just wasn't sure if I should go looking for a tab.
Except for what these?
Yeah, since I was thinking instance
Sure.
holder. Yeah. Since I was thinking instance holder instead of candle holder. That's why. Solved. Do you want me to bring you some water?
Sure.
Do you want it to be Gatorade water or normal water?
Mm. You pick.
Okay. Did you ever email Mr. Jonathan with the pictures?
What do you know?
You're right. I'm gonna go get water. I'm running through a list of things in my head.
Knock them out. Man. For sec. Morning, welcome in. All right. Test our audio. Hmm. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hmm. This is so. This is so wild to be here live on YouTube on the internet. It's seemingly It's such a simple thing, but yet it has such a weight. Here comes my water. Here comes my Leela. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Are you interested in me defrosting a sausage for lunch and having sausage and red beans and rice?
All right. Joe. What's up, Joe? Oh yeah, I'm about to like type a message in and it's yeah, pointless. What's going on, Joe? So yeah, check it out. I've been working toward this for a little while, and and first off, can you hear me? My volume, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Check, check. So yeah, I've been working through this for a little while, trying to get all the little things set up to go live, and and try to bring the studio live um, every day. Yeah, very good. It's been a lot of work to to just get the setup and get it tested. We spent all last week testing the audio and video and making sure it worked, but today was the day, and we don't know how we're going to be able to bring this place to a story, but that's what the goal is, and to do it all live. So everything done out here is gonna we got to try to figure out how to bring people down a journey. So whenever you show up, you know where I'm at, what's going on, and then to be able to engage as if you were to go to like a mall, and every morning you open the doors and there's people there walking around, and then you just start working, and people have the ability to just come and see you interact and see what's going on, engage, purchase, support. And so yeah, so what do you think? Right now I've got the camera running, and then the mic I was able to get it on to the mic too, so that I could work in the studio um, and then still be able to engage. Um, but who knows? One step at a time. How have you been? I saw those flower bowl posts y'all have done. Let me do this. I'll show you a couple of the new ones, and you can see what some of the new ones look like. If I can carry these without dropping them. Oh, fun. Yeah, well, that's what I was planning on doing this week, is just letting that cat out of the bag and sharing. I had the idea. I had the idea from a movie called Valorian, and in Valorian they had this virtual mall, and so there was. Um, Let me see. I'm gonna try something. There we go. Uh, yeah, the blue one. But in the in the video there was a virtual mall, and they were in a desert, and so everyone shows up to the desert, and then they put on their VR goggles, and they enter a mall with like a space with 30 million stores. They reference in the video and the film, and but it dawned on me that that would be very, very close to what this would try to be. Um, Oak leaf green. You talking about this one, the one we picked up? And this one here is very similar to the ones we did with the family reunion with that turquoise pool of green. I don't know how well the camera interprets the color. I know that uh, I know that for the quality, in order to have a really close dialogue, um, you have to you have to put it on the lowest latency, so that there's still like a 3 second delay to what is to what's happening. But uh, but yeah, if you want to actually communicate with someone and try to be in time or closest to to the moment, then you have to go with a low latency, which means you're going to lose a lot of detail. So all of these are just going to be worked out. Let me see. You know what? This isn't even focusing on me. There we go. Maybe it's picking up my head, my face. Um, but I have the goal. The lighting is really good in here in the studio because I can open up the doors and let the sun in. But that means I'm relying on the weather to to cooperate. I I have an idea to yeah. See, I feel like that's clear enough to be able to show pottery, and then yep, 3 seconds is the turn. And but yeah, so this movie Valorian, they show up to a desert, they put on a VR goggles, and then they enter this virtual mall environment where you can go in and interact and shop. And I just kind of it just kind of threw the light bulb, and I go, yeah, every artist out there is making, trying to make something. But in today's world, you have to now market yourself and, you know, edit your content. And we're creating an environment where we want heavily edited, fast, exciting, comedic timing, and we want to be able to have that information palatable. And the problem is for artists and makers and creators, you're stuck editing your life, and and uh, and I'm sure that everyone agrees that we're all busy enough uh, to be dealing with editing ourselves and our avatars to share online. And so when this idea came through, it just really resonated, And uh, I think these are closer to the same size. There was one from the last batch that was a little larger, uh, but yeah, I think all of these are near the same size. But so yeah, you have if you have to make and create, and then you have to figure out how to film it and move cameras around, move the viewer around, and capture it, and then to come edit. It's just not feasible anymore. And so that's where I said, you know what? Let's open the doors live. There'd be no editing, or at least the public could edit. The public can come in and say what they like, mark the chapters, and then filter that way. But but more than the engaging content, it's more just being present and communicating as you go. And so it'll have its own struggle to be able to move the camera, around and figure out how to get it into the other room outside. I'm thinking also of doing a split screen down the middle where I could have a context view or one camera, showing maybe this, and then I could have a secondary camera running to the table that I'm working, and then hopefully be able to move those around quickly. So, but yeah, I really appreciate you coming by, reaching out this morning, and sharing some of those pictures. It's very encouraging, and then I just was like, I just started this stream not too long ago, so glad you could make it. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I really feel like there's a lot of opportunities here. The scariest thing is going live, right? It's the hot mic, it's putting yourself on the stand and being vulnerable with humanity. And but I think that that's what we need. It's what the world needs, is to know that if society is moving into this digital virtual environment, um, we have more opportunity now than ever, especially with AI, to create more masks, more makeup, more filters. We can edit ourselves into our own idea of perfection, but who can stand up to that in reality? And I think that in turn is harming us, because in our own way we're sabotaging our own authenticity. And that's been my biggest struggle for a number of for the longest time, of understanding that, recognizing it, and then making and taking steps to try to come to this place. And it's been a tough journey, but we are glad that we're here, and we're hoping that this opens up a lot of opportunities. So you're right. We can invite guests to do live throwing, to come and throw and do lessons. Um, you could take that show on the road, take it into the city, and put. I told Leela, I said we could put up a little wheel in the back of our vehicle, and like a little wheel throwing station, and pull up in a city, pull into a parking lot, and just go live and offer pottery tries. The intro and the screen could be taken down early. Uh, this one, the hello, welcome in screen. Uh, the If that's what you're mentioning, so you can see how I can turn. Oop, wrong one. The welcome note. See, I could turn the welcome note off, and I could even turn the the whiteboard off. And so my thought here was, let me make sure my volume is still okay. And so my idea here with the hello screen, the whiteboard, is it's trying to solve the problem of having the information that people would normally ask when they show up. Especially with live streaming, you get people that pop in and out all the time, and so if I am live, you wouldn't be able to see exactly or maybe understand exactly what I'm doing at all times if something is maybe a little more convoluted. And so the idea was to have these little, this whiteboard, and I can make a bunch of these text notes. And then I was even gonna think about having them like rotate. So you could do the hello screen, I'm so and so, maybe a little about an about piece. I could even do a price list, right? If someone's like, "Oh, how much is this?" or "What's your availability?" I could have a inventory sheet or price list, upcoming, demonstrations, and so I felt like there was a lot of power in that for relaying a lot of information quickly, and so this was just the first one I had made, and it's I don't know why it is so difficult for me to express myself with words. And it's really funny that you come in because, that is what you do. Your artwork is using words. And and one of the hard things for me is I express myself with clay. I take dirt and mud and water and fire, and I form these pieces, and this to me is my expression. And there's so much value here to me that I want to share. But think of all the artists out there that have expressed themselves through a medium, and then they pass away, or yeah, pass away. And then all of a sudden, if they've never shared what what the meaning behind the expression is, then all of a sudden you're left with each individual interpretation, which is how art is typically viewed anyway. But I feel like it's a really great thing to know the artist's intent, and you know, so yeah, I uh, I struggle with words. So when I start writing, it takes me a long time to try to say, yes, this is what my intent is, but I have to keep it very elementary. Yeah, yeah, I like the idea of the movement. I can have them. I can put them in as a slideshow and put a time on it so that they kind of rotate through. So I'll be building those up as I go. But anyways, I don't want to monopolize your time. I really appreciate you stopping in. Um, I'm planning on being here live every day that I'm out here in the studio working, and to whatever extent, maintain the mission of my name, throw with the flow, to just go with the flow, let life happen, uh, live in the moment, and continue allowing all of your qualities to develop, um, as life allows. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for stopping in. And what what to do first, I don't know. What I have been up to is using Caleb's rock tumbler over here. He has an industrial rock tumbler. I don't know if industrial is the right word, but I have all of the wads that come on the pieces when they're fired. Every piece is fired with wadding like these. And so I pull them off and I get about 1 to 2 firings out of them. And I've got buckets of them. And so I decided to try to reclaim them and reuse the material. And that's what I'm using the rock tumbler for. And so this right here is a chunk of EPK and alumina, which is what the wads are made out of. And I'm going to try to reclaim this back down, pulverize it, and try to make more. Potters seem to always just internally be faced with conservancy, and so we're always, you know, we don't throw away much. We pick anything up and we go, oh, this shape, you know, it could be used for something, and then we keep it. And so this is a project that we've been working on. Is getting these reclaimed. We just fired the kiln with our new stilts, and so these are all of our newest stilts, and these are going to be used in this next firing. Let me grab it. I'll put these bowls back. These still have to be cleaned up. I was where I needed to be. Let me see if I can find a pan of these. All right, so these have already been glued on, but so you take the cup that's already fired, we fire it, we bisque fire it, and then we make and fire the wads, the little tripods, and glue them on. So we ran out, so we've got the rest of these cups that need wads glued on. So that is also a goal or a task. I came, you know, I've always considered myself a big procrastinator, or at least I feel like I don't move very fast, and I've always kind of blamed procrastination. And this guy Joe Hudson, I've really enjoyed his channel, The Art of Accomplishment. He said it's more of a problem of prioritizing. He's like, most people that consider themselves procrastinators, they're actually quite busy and they get a lot accomplished, but they are they don't prioritize well. So you have all your tasks, and you're trying to avoid something, right? You're avoiding something, and so you prioritize the wrong task. And when I realized that, I was like, you know what? Like I think that's me, you know, me all over. And so I created a system of benefit, goal, tasks. And so I think, what is the benefit? You know, what is the benefit that I want? What are the benefits that we want? We're doing something for benefits. And those are the goals. So I could say, I want the benefit of having a lot of pottery. So I'm going to make a goal to fire my kiln. Well, once you have the goal, you can have an endless number of tasks to complete the goal. An endless number, an infinite number of tasks. You can task the goal to death. And that's what I did. Because I was afraid of the goal or the benefit, I would create more and more tasks. And that's where perfectionists come in, is you just task yourself silly to where every day you're working, but you're never getting to the goal. And so once I realized that, I started framing it different in my head. And I said, what is the fewest number of tasks to accomplish the goal to get the benefit? So it's now like, what is the least number of steps? And once I started doing that, I started seeing incredible headway. I started knocking goals out really fast because I realized um, I don't need to clean the studio to accomplish the goal, or um, I don't need to mix up an additional 10 glazes to meet the goal, right? Like 20 glazes is enough. We can get that goal accomplished. And and so I started reframing it, and and here I am now. I'm live, and uh, I feel like I'm okay with it. But in my head, before this point, I would have over perfected it. I would have said, nope, the camera needs to be 4K. The audio needs two cameras. I'm going to need a new computer that can run two cameras, and I'm going to need to hire someone to be able to, you can have a million tasks to go to go live and start a channel, or you can just simply turn on the camera and go live, and then say, I don't know why, but I want to go live and I want to build this channel, and I'm going to do it from the ground up, um, right here. And that's how simple it is, uh, to go for the goal, limit your tasks, get the benefit, and then start start a new one. So it's like, well, what's the new benefit? The new benefit is to be able to communicate, and yeah, learn as you go. Well, we always learn as we go. The thing that I think a lot of people struggle with, including myself, is that we don't want to, we don't want to step out until we feel we have learned it. We don't want to, we want to perfect it and then share, but uh, there's no such thing as perfection, um, to a perfectionist. It's an illusion. So our benefit, our benefit has been, um, to create a space where we have the freedom to work, uh, and to communicate and engage and to share, with without the loaded pressure of, editing our lives. And so that's uh, that's what we're trying to create here, and that's what we've done. So we've met those goals. Today is the first day we're going live, and the and so now we're just thinking through this, and we're going to figure out how to make that next those next goals, um, which will come with a load of tasks. So I actually do have a goal to fire my kiln, and I wanted to do it live. And so now that we're live, we're going to be working toward firing our kiln. So I'm going to just put, I feel like writing puts it down quickest for me, and then maybe I can transfer these, find a way to transfer these to the computer. Firing the kiln. I want to fire the gas kiln. It's a salt-fired propane gas kiln. So it's a 60 cubic foot box of brick with a 500-gallon propane bottle, and I fuel it up to temperature, and then I throw salt in it in order to kind of create its magic. I have not fired it in about 3 years, and so I want to fire the kiln, and with it a sculpture. And I'll pull that sculpture out real quick. Let's turn that off. Let me see. Boom. Boom. All right, so that's the bottom piece. And this here is the top piece. So 2 large spheres put together into a single, or at least 2 bowls put together into the sphere. And then I did the same with the smaller ones. And so this piece here, I've had around for quite some time, and it's just been sitting in the corner quietly waiting for its chance. And so that's the one that I want to fire. And it's fairly terrifying because the way my work is. Thanks, Joe. Take care. We'll be here. But the goal here is to fire this sculpture in the kiln. But the way my work is I'll typically try to set it up in order for it to self-destruct and kind of melt down. And so we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about that later. All right. Live dirty. Fire the kiln. Sculpture. All right, and so with that, I think this piece alone takes up almost half of the kiln space. I think at least a third, easily a third. This is another thing. So I feel my throat like tensing those muscles, the vocal cords. You can imagine that, to work through your life, but then to take the step, or to make the step of narrating your life, narrating everything you do, talking through your ideas, I think it's going to take some time to work through it. So let me do this. I'm going to take a break with my vocals. I'll be here. If you need me, holler. I'm going to get some stuff on paper and try to pull something together. So 12 flower bowls, 6 vases, 6 container sets, and about 4 pans of sippers. And then the one sculpture. And so I think that will be all that we will be able to fit. In our kiln. And somewhere we have a map or a layout of total square inches. Hmm. I think that these are the kiln or the recipes for the last batch of flower bowls. 21, 131 plus ash. Let it go. Let go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Do I give up? I uh, I have given up. I have given up on a lot of things, but typically it's it's a logical choice. Like a need to be like, okay, it's time to quit pushing against this wall, and then I'll maybe push on something else. But I don't think I'm one to give up. I keep pushing. I keep finding a way. But it is a struggle to face your fears. And I mean, I would imagine everyone has fear of some sort. And there's healthy fears, but then there's fears that keep us from being who we know we are. And those are the fears that I try to push against. I also have a fear of claustrophobia. Uh, I don't know if I want to get over that one. Problem? All right, I don't know if this is actually the recipes for those bowls, so I'm going to just put it aside. Uh, that's sad. I hope you're okay. In what way? I'm not sad. I feel very, very fulfilled. I I've struggled um, pushing pushing forward, like pushing for open authenticity, and and um, and so I think that it's something that I feel like I have to do because it's what my artwork expresses. You know, my work, I allow each piece to just kind of create its own identity so that everything stands on its own with its own voice. And and in order to do that, you have to allow pieces to just express themselves. However, it's like you can guide them, but once you put them in the kiln, once they're tested, they have to stand on their own in order to get the value out of the finished piece. And um, so my work has been teaching me this for the longest time, but but for me, that trial is being vulnerable enough to say, in order to recognize the good qualities that people have, you have to also accept the fact that they have qualities that we may not find desirable. And so one of the quotes that I've lived with for so long was in art was, it's not about finding the piece you love the most, but it's about finding what you love the most in each piece. And I think that if we apply that to humanity, it could provide a lot of good because everyone has something good to offer. Everyone has a good quality. Um, and sometimes in order uh, to get this as an example, in order to get this effect of having a piece side fired like this, most pottery is fired upright where glaze runs gravitationally down the piece. These pieces are fired on their side. So in order to have this effect, you have to be able, or you have to put pins or shells or something for the glaze to come in contact with, which means you're going to get, little scars, little scarring. Um, a lot of potters, they use seashells. They use seashells whenever they side fire. And so you have to accept that, like on any piece, this could be considered a flaw, these little spots. But on a side fired piece, it's necessary. You have to have that. Um, and that's just one small example. Um, how long how long did it take to make? I don't know. I think when I've run the cost on these, I've tried to narrow down a time. I really think that the total time per cup could be, um, you know, 20 to 30 minutes. Uh, every part of the process almost adds the same amount of time. So if it takes, let's say, 5 minutes to throw a cup, then it takes about 5 minutes to trim the cup, takes about 5 minutes to glaze the cup, takes 5 minutes to clean up the cup, photograph it, and that sort of thing. So there are steps. There are steps, and each step takes a portion of time. When I do work, I'll typically do batches. I work in a batch. And so this is a quarter, a quarter of a batch is typically one shelf. I do 2 pans side by side when I glaze. But yeah, you could think, I think one time I had sat and thrown, I think, 500 cups. I had thrown 500 cups. And I had chose based on, let me see if I can switch over to my mic. So if I move around, it won't, check. Test. Oh, maybe bring that a little down. All of this is new. Thank you for patience. So, let me see what this looks like live. Yeah, see, this is it's the orange. For some reason, the orange is not as brilliant in the videos, in the I don't know what it's called, conversion, going from camera to computer. So yeah, that orange in there is like, it's actually very bright orange. But anyways, I had thrown 500 cups and I thought to myself, I'm gonna wait to sign them. So I signed my cups with this little KJO, and I was gonna sign them all. And it took me an hour to sit there and sign all the cups. And so I don't know, maybe 30 minutes a cup, give or take. But I'll typically work in a batch. So I'll sit down and throw so many cups, and then I'll come back the next day or two, and then I'll trim them all. I think I can throw about 30 cups an hour of these. I think the most I've ever thrown was 60 cups in an hour, but this was before they become so intricate. I think that went there. So yeah, thanks for asking. Oh, look at the texture on this one. I think it would be really nice. I'm wanting to get another I want to get a second camera in here, because with a second camera, I was thinking I could put it like you know, in like a little area that you know, has like a close-up detail view, maybe focus on getting the right color, and and then instead of like holding the piece up like this and trying to worry about focusing and detail. Look at those yellow drips of glaze. But instead of holding it up, maybe I could drop it, you know, drop it on a little something. Um, I do need to know what to put on these little whiteboards. So if you think of information that you'd like to see, that would work. I don't know, we could create a benefit goal task form. Let's see. Past my bedtime. You have a teacher that is just like me, but a woman. She must be very pretty. Benefits. I don't even know if I can spell benefits. Benefits. Let's see. Benefit. All right, tasks. Blue wads. Blue wads. Two blue wads, mix glaze. Mix. The benefit is the benefit to share process live. No, that would be a goal. A goal is to share. The benefit would be to have an open community, to be present, to be relevant. I guess these are a lot of really good benefits. The goal would be to share live, because you could also make processed videos and still get the same share. I don't know how to word this. Benefit. To build a community. Mm. Authentic. I'm going to turn this on. All right, this is what we're working on. Punctuate. Goal. So the goal would be fire. What would our goals be? I guess we have a few of them. You know, it seems odd as a potter to write down to fire a kiln, but it's for me it is a fairly big deal. The kiln is a beast. I, I call it a rally car. It's like driving a rally car. It's seemingly dangerous, and it always seems to want to fight. It wants to fight me, and I don't know how we always find success with it, but it's pretty intimidating. So it's been a few years since I have fired it. I want to fire the kiln. I want to fire this sculpture behind me, and that piece in and of itself is fairly scary also, since it's the tallest piece I have made with the most amount of mass. So it has a lot of weight, and it's very tall. It's very top heavy, and so uh, I hope it works, but I'm not expecting it to. We'll find out. All right, share studio, fire kiln. All right, we need to upgrade live feed. Any more goals? Any more goals? So all the cups right here behind me need to get cleaned up. Glue wads. Clean up cups. Oh, it is 12:10. Glue wads, make glaze, clean up cups. What's next? That may be it. That may be it. So we're going to start here. There's actually a lot. Obviously, these tasks will be filled out, but this is going to be more. This could be used to just kind of give us some direction while we're live, so that anytime you jump in, you'll be able to see on this screen um, what we're working on. As a matter of fact, I feel like the live stream pottery studio should probably be out. Anyway, I got some ideas. I'll put those in a bit. So now we've got welcome note and about, well, not about, but our task list. So I think what we need is where it says live stream pottery studio. I think right there we'll do a like a heading for what whiteboard is being shown, and we'll drop the live stream pottery studio out to the side. All right, I think I'm gonna be done for now. Take a break, rest my vocals, and go grab myself some lunch. It is 12:10 here in South Mississippi. We are on Central Standard, right next to, or I guess Chicago is our lineup. So CST 12:10. I'm gonna go grab some food, and we'll be back in our next stream to try to maybe we'll glue wads. We've got the wads fired, and we've got all of these cups ready to go. And so maybe we'll start getting that done. All right. Thank y'all so much for being here. My name is Kevin. We'll be back.